What's the secret to winning more clutches? My name is Slayerkey and I've coached 2,000 players watching hundreds of clutches be both won and lost. And by the end of this video, you'll understand real examples and a simple 3-step process to losing less clutches. So you're in Slayerkey arena, peaks and dies, typical. Now you're in a clutch situation. What's the first thing you do? Evaluate all available info. What do we know and what is missing? So everyone's dead. Who did they die to? And who are we missing? We see Clove mid-site and Jet backside. We can assume some things here. For example, we killed one A player. So the other two players are likely the C player and Garage player. They have the farthest rotates. And then you can ask, do they know where we are? So we killed their teammate about 2 seconds ago. They probably know where we are. They know we're coming up short. And so our window of opportunity is very short here. So step 2, isolate 1v1s. Any chance you have to isolate 1v1s is incredibly important, especially if the enemy numbers are higher. For example, 1v4, 1v5. If we can get a 1v1, we'll take it. What's the easiest way to get 1v1 here? Just run into the smoke. There's one player. Now, the only other player we know is this Jet backside. We might have missed something here, and this is very subtle, but the Vise wall just popped flank. So now we know there's one player flank, there's one player backside, and we're still missing a player. We don't know if it's a C player, Garage player. It's kind of hard to tell at this point, but we know it's one of the two. And 1v3, I would still say pretty dire situation. You know, if we don't finish this fight with the Jet fast, that potential last player, that potential missing player could come kill us. So how do we take this? 1v1, we just swing it. Have your cross in a decent spot, know that we last saw her here, wouldn't predict her hell here, would assume she's here, peeks into that. And then once you kill her, there's another piece of intel we get, which is we hear one running long and we hear one running CT. Now this is a big throw by them because this is what makes clutches so easy. Second I kill this Jet, I have such an intel advantage. I know where the bomb is, I know where both players are, they know where I am, but I have a lot of space to maneuver with here. I have two very easily isolated players. So this is another important moment to realize how much intel we have. And now it's a balance of taking and giving away. So we're not gonna like go run, grab bomb. We're not just gonna peek this CT player. We're not just gonna like run around the site and try to peek both these guys, because we want to now restrict the intel we have. We don't need to seek it out. We're not lacking information. And so we completely cut noise. We say, is the CT guy kind of a little aggressive here? Okay, the long guy is droning. Again, they don't know where I am. They're seeking me out. And I don't know if he sees me, to be honest. I don't know if he doesn't. It makes it very easy to be like, okay, let me try to go for this Sova. See if he's doing. The CT player isn't doing anything. Let me check the long player. And then there's another isolated 1v1. And remember, we know nothing of the CT player. Every time you get a kill, just imagine there's like a red blip that appears on your enemy's UAV. So they now know where you are located. We buy some space here. I look for the CT or Heaven player. By going up long here, I basically isolate both the timings. There's a chance she could have walked out CT here, and I just didn't want to mess with it whatsoever. So I completely back up here. Again, still shift walking. The plan here is to try to go C, because C is like the furthest timing. Most players end up staying around the spot where they think the enemy is. And so by going C, I can get a free plant. I can plant wherever I want, play wherever I want. I can eliminate some other timings, something we'll talk about a little bit further. Not really important in this one.
You have ult off, man.
And she actually timed me short. She had a very, very good timing in short. And that's a clutch one. So that's the 3 steps. I'm going to run you through multiple examples, each following those same kind of philosophies. Each will have little different nuances to help you get the understanding correct. Before we continue, I need to clarify that these are my arms and not boobs. Also, if you're interested in improving, I'm now looking for dedicated players to join my 6-week coaching program. This is where you'll finally understand what's holding you back and get real results like this. You can also find over 50 resources in my private improvement community. Visit Slayerkey.com if this sounds like something for you. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Now, evaluating the info is kind of something you want to do throughout the round. So for example, like Fade Dog here, Clove, Cypher just tripped. So Fade, Cypher, Yoru, Reyna. We found Fade and Cypher through their abilities. We see Yoru and Reyna on the minimap. So that's the info we have going into this. We don't know we know there's not like a B lurk happening right now. And there can be a chance someone's like fighting this mid. So we cam to re-clear mid, don't see anything, looks like they're all in link, and we just decide to dip. Try to regroup with the team. Both my teammates are low, whatever. We have both the intel. They end up dying, 1v4 clutch. Now, that's the info we have. Now we want to isolate 1v1s. The easiest way to isolate 1v1s in ranked is wait for an overheat. So the Reyna just killed someone, it's an insta-lock Reyna. We already know what's gonna happen. Okay, well, she ended up having 3 teammates, but we did a good job of isolating the 1v1s in a way where we weren't peeking all 3 of these players at once. So that's another way it could work out. We take on this first angle, we don't see anything, we take on literally the smallest micro step to take on the second. Smallest micro step. And so this angle is so tight that even though there's 3 players right here, we're only exposed to 1. Okay, 3 killed, 1 player left. 30 HP. Again, this is no longer I need a 1v1 to win this situation. It's a 1v1 and I'm low HP, and this guy knows exactly where I am, right? Red blip on the minimap. And so your goal at this point is to play with the balance of taking and giving away info. So we know Yoru is here, we know the spike's down, we know he has to plant, we know he knows exactly where we are. You really have to read into what the enemy might be doing, what their behavior is. For example, like bomb was dropped site and it's been 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and he just hasn't like re-cleared and planted the bomb, so he's likely going to be here. And that was my sort of read. I also still had the cam in mid, which was a very nice tactical play to still have it there, and I ended up tagging him here, and because I was already like half rotated out, I could just knife out run here. He's gonna have to take out the dart, and I'm gonna have a very early timing he might not expect. So you'll see I just fully run up here. I'm being very cautious of my audio ring right now, because if he hears just a footstep here, he's gonna know I'm already CT. So very cautious of this audio ring and not putting it into the link where he's going to be rotating up. So you'll see I'll take like the right side pathing here as much as possible. He doesn't take out the dart, so it's even easier for me to do this because I know he can't hear me. Even there he plants, right? Still outside the audio ring. Now he takes it out and I'm already here. He breaks the trip, so I already know he's like pushed up in the space. And so my idea here is he's either close or he's playing back B main. And you see him with his knife out looking real stupid. By eliminating that timing and also kind of prepping for a potential rotate, it could have been better. If he actually ended up planting here and I'm already CT, I maybe would have wrapped through like link just because of the pure intel disadvantage and health disadvantage I was at. Or I probably would have taken like a gamble with a clove smoke and try to kill him that way. So this one's gonna be a little tricky to see. I think I'm gonna skip a little bit forward just so I can show you the map. So we did a B hit and I was sitting in the C link smoke. It's an eco round, so a lot of stuff here that just says like we need to go aggressive or look for an aggressive timing. Sitting in the smoke where enemies are probably going to rotate in to help their team is kind of our best chance here. We also got like the Kaden marks from I think a fatal, so we're just looking to kill the C players. We pushed up looking to see if the C players come in the smoke. I end up killing one, and then I insta peek to try to find the other so they don't have time to react. Okay, so we just changed a 1v5 to a 1v3. That's a pretty good start. And again, remember red blip on the minimap. So without any hesitation here, I literally just like knife out and run here. Now, to be honest, there's a good chance they heard me here, but it throws enough like question marks in their steps that it makes it easier. Now the jet just peeks me, it's ranked, people are gonna overheat. Like the best thing you can always do is just have your crosshair ready for any player who can peek. It's not that I didn't expect the jet to be here, it's just I had my crosshair ready. I was like, someone could be here.
Not ready yet.
Okay, and then I popped the flash. This is old Vise just to get some intel and kind of continue the chaos. You really don't want to give your enemies like a chance to think. And the flash doesn't really tell us anything, like their sight sick. And so we have to do something a little crazy here. You can hear this guy shoot me from under. I was actually gonna jump through the smoke, jump spot through the smoke, and try to see if I could see someone, but the fade eye was down. And so I kind of canceled this, and then I think someone saw me tickle out the smoke there, and then I heard one jump up on this right side. So you see how we play to get timings without like really risking our lives. Like jump spot through smoke is kind of crazy. We might take some damage, we might lose the round, we might have just gotten like spam headshotted there, but you kind of have to play like this. You do need the piece of intel. You can't just dry swing through the smoke on, like at this point it would be 50 different angles, but that easily gave us the intel we needed. And you can see even my teammate realizes this. Thank you for my teammate for sending me this clip. And they ping both the spots they were. But looking for those little sounds is the most important thing. Now, do I just like rush out and try to peek here? Still no. Like I have the intel. I don't really need to give away more. They don't really know where I am at this point. I pretty much have to be top link, to be honest, but most players don't have that strong of reads. One player jump spots here. This is probably the right side player. I checked for a timing here because the jump spot bait seemed really predictable here. Looking back, it's probably not. This is probably a close player, but it's still a good thing to consider. The player looked like he was baiting for someone. I checked it anyways.
Flashing. One enemy remaining.
And I was right, he was baiting for someone. It was the guy in the corner. And so you can see how we clear these angles, how we kind of just, I had no idea this guy was left side. He could have been under, to be honest. But without hesitation, I pop flash, W old flash, and just reswing, and then expect the reswing. So if you are patient and if you try to bait out your enemy, they will give you information and they will make the round way more playable. This is how you balance giving and taking away intel. I think this one was the best example of that idea. Okay, there's one more example I really want to cover because it's the #1 mistake I see people make. Here's another clutch situation. The idea here, let's try to gather the intel throughout the round. So Sova darted C, he's probably the C player. Jet peeked B, Chamber C. Jet peeks here. I killed Jet. Phoenix is garage. Okay, Phoenix is dead. So we know where Jet, Sova, and Chamber are, right? We don't know where Omen is. Probably the A player, right? We killed B player, garage player, 2 C players. Probably the A player. And so we're looking for him. It's 1v3. We don't see him. We kind of just assume he pushed up A lawn. And the #1 mistake I see is honestly planting in a 1v3. This is a very terrible thing to do. One, plants the bomb, gives away where you are. It allows them a lot more intel and gives them a win condition that they can play around with abilities. So it's really important you play around it right if you plant the bomb. The most important thing is look for aggressive timings. You need an equalizer. You need a chance in this round, and by standing on site, they will slowly break down the site until there is only one spot to focus their utility and fights, and you will just lose. You need aggressive. So as soon as you plant the bomb, F it, go CT. Right, there's 2 C players. The Omen might still be somewhere in link, might be on B, he might be lawn, but at least we can kill these 2 guys, and it's planted for heaven, it's planted for lawn, it's planted to give them some question marks, and also somewhere I can play. Right, is this heaven angle? So we insta knife out here, look right side, nothing, look left side, you look for aggressive timings, you look to find intel. Even if it's not what you meant to do, you'll probably still get some, because we hear garage players or B players just full on running here. Okay, there's 2 there, but we only saw the chamber. Sova threw a dart. We throw the C's to throw him off, and also to kind of give me something to reposition with. So like the C's might make them think I'm going backside. It doesn't let them push so freely into the space, and so I can kind of chill in this next position. Now they're just shooting a bunch of warning shots, which is really great because it's just free intel for me, right? Think about, since I threw that C's, I've given away 0 info, while these guys have given me an orbital VSAT on their location at all times. All you do is wait for a timing where they want to enter into sight, or they're thinking of entering into sight, so their guns aren't facing you. Okay, so we killed those 2 guys. We got our eye back, and the Omen's just not here. Like, this is a read you can have sometimes where you could just eliminate this timing, because if the Omen was here, he would have peeked me from CT, he would have peeked me from Link, and the biggest timing that's open, which is the more important question, what's the biggest timing you left open, is this A site. I just was not attentive to lawn, to A short, and we kind of talked about throughout this round, I mentioned a few times, this guy was probably the A player, and he was probably up lawn or short, because he wasn't A link to kill me.
Okay.
You have eye.
He taps bomb here. We have eye. I wanted the eye to honestly land all the way up there, but I dropped it early, and maybe it worked in my favor, because drops, gets the scan, nice kill.
You're better.
So good, so good.
But now you have the 3 steps to winning more clutches: evaluate info, isolate 1v1s, and the balance of taking and giving away. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out my coach in the description. As always, like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.